Hey, comic friends, I'm Travis, and it's new comic book day, or at least new comic book day for me anyway. I got my books right here. Gonna make it quick because, of course, they came a day late. It's telling me I've got 19 books. I have 18 to actually read because, of course, this is Doom Patrol week, so I get the extra Doom Patrol in there. So let's see what we picked up this week. First up, interesting. They put it in. Oh no, it is right side. It's just upside down. Funny. Doom Patrol issue number 7. This is the variant cover. This is the Mike Allred variant cover, I believe. No, it's actually done by Mike Allred. This issue is interesting. Did not know that. Look forward to it. Of course, it's always Doom Patrol, so it's always awesome. Look forward to checking that out because that's the original crew. That's kind of cool. So, and then we have the other Doom Patrol, and I believe this is the I want to say this is the variant cover. You know what? I don't know which is the variant cover. This is the one by the regular artist. So I'm looking really quick. I don't know. I'll have to look inside. Anyway, Doom Patrol issue number 7. Stoked for that. All kinds of good stuff there. Finally have it back. It was quite a delay, like 3 months or something like that, I think. Batman All-Star Batman, issue number 12. More of the First Ally story, which, of course, I always enjoy. Lots of great Alfred stuff and whatnot like that. So should be some good stuff there. Checking that out. With Albuquerque on art. A whole bunch of other names on there, though, so I'm not sure. Is there a backup story? Funarama's in there, so I'm assuming there's a backup story, would be my guess. Next up, we have The Damned, issue number 3. Ill-Gotten. There they are hanging onto the key. One of the Damned hanging onto the key. So really curious to see where this goes to. I still haven't read the trade yet. That won't stop me from reading the single issue. Of course, I just like to get the trade, so get that done so I know exactly what's going on there. Next up, we have Shudder, issue number 30, the final issue of Shudder. All ends here. So I'm real curious to see how that all works out. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a really interesting read. Definitely be going back and rereading the whole thing all in one shot now that I've got the entire book. But see how it ends. I'm always curious to how series ends, especially long series. You know, how do they close it out? Sometimes that affects how I see the entire run of the book, and then after that, you know, how a book is closed. It seems sometimes. So hoping it ends strong. Next up, we have Plastic issue number 4. Don't really care about this book at all. I think the premise, or a lot of the premise, the whole, you know, in love with the sex doll thing, is just there to titillate us and get us to read the book in the first place. And seems relatively irrelevant to the grand story, I feel like. So I just don't particularly care. I'll probably be at the bottom of my pile to read. Yes, more Rebels. These free and independent states. This is issue number 5, I think like 9. Our main character has been kicked out of the Army, or out of the Navy. He's been kicked away from ships and whatnot, which is his entire life and existence. So what happens next for him? I'll be really curious to see how that all works. Been very much enjoying that. Andre Muti, as art is brilliant on that book. Crosswind, this is issue number 2, the Gail Simone and Staggs book. Dinner party. So we got the dinner party. Clearly the dinner party is going to go bad. I mean, she's hanging into a very bloody cleaver. Reflection of who she really is, because it's got this whole body swap thing between a pretty anxious and heavily medicated housewife, young housewife, and a hitman. So curious to see how that all plays out. Gonna show Batgirl here. This is another one-shot issue, was my understanding. She teams up with Catwoman, so that should be some fun there. The Truth About Bats and Dogs. Love the cover there. Batgirl swinging the whip, and Catwoman has the Batarang, so curious to see how that plays out. Should be some fun. Another book I've been enjoying quite a bit, Batman in the Shadow. Last issue we were left with, you know, Batman all chained up and the Rogues Gallery getting ready to basically do him in. So I'm assuming we'll get to see the Shadow come to the rescue and see what happens there. Wonderful, wonderful artwork from Rosmo of course, some great colors by Placina on there. So very much looking forward to checking that out. The ongoing story with the intelligence from Detective Comics. Of course, we have Azrael fighting a newer all robotic version of himself that is taking over for the Saints. So we're really curious to see how that all plays out. Love that cover. That has a good cover. Very dynamic looking. Yeah, cool stuff. So looking forward to reading that, of course. Look, I always look forward to reading. Very excited about, just about dropped my comics there, is Black Hammer. Issue number 11. I don't know, we got more with Grayson the Martian or exactly what, but always excited for this. Great, great book. Lots of interesting storytelling going on there. Hellblazer, The Smokeless Fire. I'm thinking this might be the end of The Smokeless Fire. I'm kind of hoping so. Love that Tula Toy cover there. That's great. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So hopefully that's the end of the whole thing, the whole story with the genies and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of not really feeling it a whole lot. So the Commandy Challenge. It might be a Sekowitz cover. I'm not sure. I haven't been very excited by this. I don't think a lot of us are. Issue number 7, written by Bennett, Dan Jurgens, artwork. We'll see, you know, how they play with this for a brief amount of time that they're going to play with it. I don't know. Just haven't. It was tiring by issue 6. I've still got this and up to 12, so it's going to be a doozy of a book to struggle through, I think. Mother Panic, very much looking forward to this. Issue number 9, I believe. Yes, issue number 9. Jody Hauser written book. Really like her characterization of Violet, our main character, this new villain that walks around in a Gotham City, coroner body bag. Real curious to see about that. The John Paul Leon art, of course, always some good stuff. Wonderfully colored by Dave Stewart. So very much. This is I still think it's the best Bat book. If it's gonna, because it's in Gotham, it falls into the Bat book stuff. Still think it's the best Bat book that is being made. Oh, book I'm really looking forward to. I have heard other people describe this as being a filler issue. Gonna have to have a conversation at some point with some of the other great comic book people out there. What qualifies as a filler issue? I'm stoked for issue 45 of Saga. Very much looking forward to seeing what's the story. If this is focused on this character, I don't know if that makes that filler. I just think it's going to inform us more on Petra. So I'm okay with that because I love that character. So glad to see at the comments. Jack goes here. Yes, slow mail strikes again. I get my books late, so we're doing the live, and I'm going to madly take off and read as many books as I can. Next issue of Wonder Woman. More of the Heart of the Amazon. This is issue number 27. The last issue wasn't bad. It wasn't outstanding. It's a little closer to standard superhero fare, which I don't necessarily have a problem with. So we'll see where it goes from here. I'm just kind of curious to see. I'm going to get this storyline and then a storyline that has to do with Wonder Woman's unbeknownst brother. So I don't know. I'm going to keep collecting Wonder Woman for a while, and we'll see how long I muscle through the stuff I'm not excited for, and hopefully soon we'll get what's after Robinson's arc, because it sounds like now people are just doing arcs, like 6 issues, they're done, 1 trade, they're done, kind of a thing. So I don't know if that's going to be the game plan going forward or not, and I'm of two minds. That part of me thinks that might be cool because we get lots of different stories that way, or part of me thinks that might be bad because there's a bunch of people who don't really have a long-term thought as to what Wonder Woman might be like, but just want to tell a simple story. And I kind of like both. I mean, I kind of like the idea of getting a bunch of people on, tell some, some single cool ideas. But I also like the idea of having somebody in a book for long-term that wants to tell, something that's informative over 10, 15, 20 issues too. So I don't know. we'll see. Book I really like the first issue, Bank Shot. This is issue number 2 of 5. Alex DeCampi written, Chris Cross on art. I was really not pleased with the first issue. So I've got this issue. I did not order issue number, I want to say 4. So I don't plan on getting the rest of it. Unless this blows my mind, then I'll scramble to try and pick it up. But it would take quite a bit to rescue what was a pretty detached kind of a story from what the premise was. We were told, even on the inside cover, it said, this is what this person's like, and this is what blah, blah, blah. And then we really got none of that. So I don't know. Book I'm definitely excited about, BPRD, The Devil You Know. I got the Mike Allred variant cover, of course, because, you know, if you can get a Mignola Universe book with Mignola art anywhere on it, that's awesome. That's Howard. That's Howard there. Howard is basically the equivalent of a modern age Conan. He actually, his soul or his psyche actually went back to some prehistoric kind of era. When he came back, he had lived in this prehistoric era for a very long time, and had basically become this kind of warrior king kind of thing. So he's now in the modern age whacking us up. So I'm really excited about this because BPRD is back. You know, it kind of quit. You know, it had the big massive numbers, the 140 some numbering, and they had this massive battle, and they you know, struggled at the end of that to fight the swarm of stuff man was not meant to know, taking over everything, and between some nuclear strikes basically, and a devil from hell basically, you know, pulling out some huge stops to wipe this alien, you know, Chthonian type invasion. So this book takes up after all of that. So, you know, there's still no Hellboy. Who knows what's happened with Abe Sapien at the end of his run. You know, we don't know what he was going to do. So I believe this is basically some of those great, some non-powered to some degree. So there's, other than Liz Sherman is still around. We get Howard. And then we're gonna have this other great cast of characters, those that did not perish, because quite a few of them perished at the very end of that. And then we're gonna go back to having these arcs back the way the book used to be. You know, on the inside cover, it still continues to be numbered normally, but it's gonna be, you know, headlining instead of all Hell on Earth, because Hell on Earth was like, I don't know, I want to say it's like 20 issues or more. You know, so this is gonna be PRD, The Devil You Know. We're gonna get 2 or 3 issues, 4-issue arc of that. Then they'll come out at some point with another BPRD, another title, something or other. And I'm cool with it being that way too, kind of thing. So I'm, like, anyway, very excited to get back into reading this. I see that it's written Mike Mignola and Scott Alley. Scott Alley is the editor normally. He helped write the Abe Sapien stuff. So, you know, it's the two of them, I guess. Lawrence Campbell on art, which is cool. Dave Stewart on colors, as always, for all the Mignola Universe stuff. So that's it for my books. 18 for me to read. I'm going to jump off of here so I can come back in, 7.5 hours or so and talk comic books on Comic Book Roundtable. We should have some extra guests tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. All right. Hopefully see you then. Have a great one, everybody. See you in a few hours.